Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream, and this is Ranzy's channel, and if you don't know who I am, my name's just there. If you can't read, it's Ranz. Anyway, big warm welcome to everybody that's here. We're going to start off, ladies before gentlemen of course, we're going to start off with Inky, and big hello to you Inky. How's your week been?
Hello everyone, how are you? Yeah, just same old, same old. I haven't done much musically, but that's about to change. So yeah, good week, very good week in fact.
That's good to hear. That's really, really good to hear. We'll definitely talk some more, but let's just get the hellos out of the way. A big hello to you, Darren. How's your week been? Oh, wait, what's going on? Why can't we hear Darren?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, yep. That's a drink.
Yeah, it's been okay. It's been pretty bad weather here though, but other than that, yeah, it's been fine.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. And why is wait a sec, I've got something happening wrong here. I need to put the next guest in this box.
I'm fine.
Here he is.
Fine, dude. I
How's
don't
it
even
going,
need a
Dazza?
box. I'm outside of the box.
Get in your box.
I'm good, man. I went swimming in bioluminescence tonight. That was interesting. You know when you go in the algae and it glows in the dark?
Oh yeah, wow.
Awesome.
Oh,
yeah, I've
wow.
never done that before. It's really,
Awesome.
really cool. It's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there we all are. Hi, everyone. And a big hi to all the chatties. Now, we didn't go through the big long list here because I like to make everyone feel warm and welcome. Starting from the top, Axel Soft Music, big hello to you. We got Michael B, greetings. And Matthew Harness, good to see you. Hanway Wiesner, hi to you. Michael Elliott. Chon Dublin, how you going? Sonic Neutronic, how's it going? We've got Transcendent Drummer, hello to you. Azoz, Foxy Nirvana, and keep going down the list. We've got Inverted Popes. We have big hello to you, of course. I think we're getting close to the end of the internet there. Cool. Anyway, it's really, really good to see you all here. And yes, we've got a pretty heavy topic this week, but I don't want it to be negative or bad or heavy, or I want it to be actually positive and happy and uplifting. And so if you've joined us because of the topic, we are going to tackle it, but we're just going to get through our normal regular segments first. Now I will admit this week it's a bit light on with some of the things, so it won't take long. And what we'll do is we'll start with our normal funny side. Let's roll the stinger. Well, welcome to Funny Side. Now, what this is, if you're new, is I sort of scour the interwebs for synthy-based humour, and usually they're memes. And I guess let's start off with the video. Well, it's craziness, that one.
That was awesome.
Who would have thought,
That was awesome.
a coffee machine? Dearie me, that one had to go in. That's been floating around the internet for a while. It was due to go on the show, but anyway, that was pretty cool. And credit to the definitely to the people that published that. So that'll be mentioned in the description of the video. So what else we got? Let's get going. We have got this little dude here. Hang on, let's do it this way. Oh, hey, I just heard your snare. And I just left something in the other room to convey how I thought it sounded. Oh, sorry. If you haven't been watching sort of Facebook and places like that, there has been this constant meme thread going about snares, and you might remember last week I had a snare theme as well, and this little cat has obviously left a deposit in another room. So if you don't get it, bad luck, because I do. Okay, next one. This one, all the doorless people will love this one. So he's pretty happy with his synth. Is that Serum? Is that your head Serum? And then he's not quite too happy about the CPU load. Now, for those who have got, they work in the box, they work in DAWs, will know this is their pain. 1759% CPU load. Oh dear. Crickets. That one was quite good, I thought. Anyway, let's get a quick reaction from the guys. Thumbs up or thumbs down for the memes this week? Or average, Dazza? Dazza, we know there was one that we could have shown, but we'll keep that one anonymous for now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
it's messy.
It gets messy. Dazza and I have been naughty this week, so we'll keep that one messy. All right, let's keep going to the next segment. We've got a bit of news, and it's only just one item, so let's just roll the stinger. Boom. There is only one bit of news. Well, there's actually lots of news, but I only chose one. And that is, I actually think this is pretty cool. Yes, if you had been living under a rock, you would have never heard about the rumour that the new Korg Wave State is powered by a Raspberry Pi. Guess what? Rumours confirmed. Sonic State have pulled it apart, and guess what was inside? This photo of a Raspberry Pi. So yes, I don't know whether that makes you feel good or bad. It doesn't really worry me at all, but there's the news. And I think in a way it's actually pretty cool. I mean, there's synths that have got Arduinos in them. There's synths that have got, like I've got a Korg M3 that's basically got a PC inside. So it's not wrong to do this. If anyone's thinking that's a wrong thing to do, it's definitely not wrong to do. But let's just have a quick reaction from you guys. Who wants to have a quick reaction about that? Raspberry Pi for the Korg Wave State. Anyone sort of, does that make you feel worse, better, or the same about it? Anyone want to have a crack at that? Nope.
Well,
Darren.
It's not on my list to buy, but I don't see any. There's no point. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. Like I say, it's Arduinos and other synths, so it's neither there nor there to me.
Fair enough. Well, what about you, Inky? You want to say something?
It doesn't put me off it, but I think it should be cheaper now somehow. I don't know why. I'm just going, right, it's a Raspberry Pi and some knobs and a genius to program it. That's it. But yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's devalued itself a bit. Is that what you're kind of saying? By now that you know what's in the guts. But yeah, did anyone ever open up a Roland System 8? They would have been disappointed what's inside that.
Yeah, but when you look at the MPC, you know what? It's kind of got like a tablet in it, right? But a decent one.
Yeah.
And so you can understand these things, but it's just a little bit disappointing for the how much is it? Is it 700 quid?
800 US, I think it is. Yeah. There's a guy.
Yeah, 800.
Guy in the chat said he's got one. Who said he had one? Someone in the chat said he had one. Playing with it right now. Brian Gunsher Music, playing with my Raspberry Wave State right now, he says. So there you go. There's a few other people.
You open up many synths and you look at it and there's nothing in there basically.
Yeah,
there's very few synths with there's very few synths that look like the money that you've paid for, if you know what I mean. As in, you open the box, it's 2 pieces of plastic and a circuit board. And the circuit boards have got smaller and smaller these days.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Darren? Does that change your opinion about it? Dowser, sorry. Does that change your opinion about the Korg Wave State?
As long as it's not doorless jam, I don't care. I think these wavetable synths will be interesting. I said it earlier in the year that they'll be the future of where digital hardware is going. So we'll see more of that granular synthesis and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I think the most important thing is what one of our chatties has said, and that is, hopefully if this comes up, let's see if it's going to turn up below me. There you go. All that matters is how it sounds. And Brian reckons it sounds awesome. So there you go. And I agree with him. That's really good point.
And also, it looks really good fun. I reckon you'd come up with kind of music on that you wouldn't come up with anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because of the tracks and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Beautiful. Now, I should mention this week, we obviously, doing a pretty kind of serious topic, but I'm also trying something new out this week. Now, I've got a new connection that I've had set up here. And for those who like a little bit of nerdiness, where I live, we've got this new type of internet service called fixed wireless, which is a microwave. You actually have a microwave dish on your roof of your house, and it communicates over microwave. And so far it's pretty good. Now I'm actually streaming out of that microwave link tonight, so we'll see how we go, see how it holds up compared to my other internet connection, which is a fiber to the node / copper / crappy Australian called NBN connection. We'll see how we go anyway. Guys, let us know how the stream is compared to normal, and those who are regular to the show. Now, while we've got everyone here, there's a few other people that have jumped in, and I do like to say hi to everyone. So let's see if I haven't missed anyone, that's for sure. So, Mac, sorry, I said it wrong, Mr. Mac, there we go. How you going? And we're obviously saying hi to Brian, even though we put his comment up. CB Legacy, how's it going? And if I missed anyone, I don't know. Analog Story Official is here. That's nice of you to pop in as well. And obviously I know what your real name is, but we'll keep it at that. And what else have we got? I think Ping Pong 85. Did I mention you? So if I didn't, big hi to you as well. If I've doubled up, that's fine. It's nothing hurting to everyone to double up. Okay. All right. So let's get stuck into the topic this week. And we actually were going to have another guest this week who was going to come in and talk, but that's okay. He can come on another time. It's fine. But yeah, I thought I would sort of kick it off by just sort of saying, well, why am I talking about this? Well, I think it's time that we got it out in the open, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. If people have got some mental health issues, it's not something that's like you need to lock away in the cupboard. There's a lot of people in the world that have got mental health issues, whether they're chronic or whether they're minor. It doesn't really matter. It's something that we should definitely discuss, and I think one of the best ways to help each other is by openly discussing it. And I think the topic for today really is about how I found using synths and music technology. And it's not just synths, of course. There's drum machines and sequencers and stuff like that. But we say synths, but we really mean all the other cool stuff. And how it's kind of helped me, and in a positive way. And I think if I share a little bit about that with you guys, and you guys can sort of jump in when you like. Also, you guys in the chat as well, feel free to tell us a little about your story as well. But yeah, for me, it's been about 10 years since I was officially diagnosed by my doctor with depression. And, it comes good some days and comes bad some days. So, we have to live with this. And but one of the things I found is that by doing something that I love, which is music, and I'm not saying I'm good at it or anything like that, it's just something that I love doing, I found that kind of, in a way, it distracts me from the issues that I might have. And in a way, it also heals as well, because, you're putting things in your life that are positive. You're putting things that you enjoy. And, we all kind of handle it differently. Some people handle it by buying lots of gear, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people handle it by pumping out lots of tunes, and some people do both. So if that's what you do, then awesome. So for me, you know, it really is just I think getting the strength for, you know, hopefully some of you guys are in the chat are listening, or whoever's watching this video on the replay, getting the strength to just talk about it is the start. Then getting the strength to, you know, to I guess identify that there's something that's there, and then you're doing something about it. I think that's all good. All of that's good. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about why music is a good medium for, in a way, it's for healing. You know, in a way, isn't it? Daz, do you want to kick it off with that?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot to unpack around that subject. I guess we've got to say it's really nice just to be in this chat, for example, where we can all gather and spend time together and commune. We're a very social animal as humans, and as musicians, and particularly with this sort of obsession with technology, we can end up quite isolated. So even just participating in this for me is a really positive thing. But I have to balance that against the rest of my lifestyle, being in the wrong time zone that I'm in. Things like I've got to do a performance on Tuesday morning, so I've got to have my sleep pattern back in order by then. So, you know, I've missed the last couple of weeks. I've literally felt like I just can't do it. I've got to reprioritize. I have a whole history that I could unpack. I probably won't go into depth just right now. But needless to say, I put a lot of therapies in place to keep my life functioning. And for me, music is part of it. But I definitely had a period in my life where I was studying nursing, and we had to study the mental health conditions. And I was also working with a lot of people with mental health conditions. And I definitely fit in that category of depression. I identified that myself. But it had taken me 20 years to get to that point. 20 years of really negative thinking, negative behaviors, low self-esteem, etc. So even talking about it's a touchy subject, and it's going to be that way for the people that are listening as well. It's different for everyone. Everyone has their own experience, and there's a whole range of mental health issues that we're talking about. But I guess at the heart of it, we're looking for good mental health, and that means good lifestyle practices. And music can feed into that with the type of music that we're making. Music can be really dark, it can be really aggressive, it can be really destructive, but it can also be very healing, very healthy, very, very positive, very uplifting. And I think everyone listening can understand that, because we've spent so much of our lives studying what music is and the cultural implications and different sound waves, different frequencies. For example, I've just put up a video tonight that I've been waiting to put this out for a while, and I just got it together. Which is a guided meditation, and that's using music and sound to control your breathing and your heart rate and take you into a really deep and calm place within yourself. So yeah, there's all sorts of ways that I use sound, and I do that for people that I know here, and it really, really helps them. So I'm hoping to do more of that and build that more into a business as well.
Fabulous. Thanks for sharing that with us. And I think, you know, there's some takeaways from that, like you were talking about the type of music, and obviously, you know, some of us will agree with that, some of us will disagree, but that, you know, that's how we all we boil, don't we? We all boil a different way. Now, I will mention during the week after I launched the topic, I've had a lot of people who have approached me via email, via messages, via other forms, and they've, you know, told me their story. I'm not going to disclose that to anyone, of course, you know, because it's private, but some of the stories I've been told have been remarkable. Like people have lost loved ones, people have had, you know, pretty bad sort of accidents or whatever situations in their life where they're now suffering from PTSD and those sort of issues. And all of them have this common collective point, which is, I think, is amazing. I think that we're all here collectively because we all share this common amazing phenomena, and that is that, you know, the vibrations coming from our music is definitely helping us. And I think, you know, thumbs up to you guys. You're doing really, really well. All right, cool. So, Inky or Darren, do you guys want to? Who wants to go next? Do you guys want to say something about this from your? You don't have to go any personal if you don't want. I don't feel like you're being put on the spot. Just you can just generally talk about it. It's up to you. Who wants to go first?
all I was going to add to it is music and also nature, getting out into into nature as well. So
Yeah.
things like I think that helps as well. And if you combine the two, you know, you can be looking into a good place. I wouldn't mind taking a small like setup out, like you've seen like little modular setups out into the wilderness and just sitting there and just creating whatever comes out. I think that helps, helps me, and it's different for everyone. But like you say, music is a big, how can I put it? Is a nice stress reliever as well.
Yeah, nature is a good one. That's an excellent point. In fact, no pressure, Darren, but I think that MPC Live is really starting to want to end up in your studio because it's got a battery in it. Remember, you take it out in nature with you. You don't have to don't have to find a PowerPoint. So you can buy a few Volkers.
Yeah, you're not on commission for Akai, are you?
No. Akai, if you're listening, leave the money on the fridge. Anyway, Inky, over to you. Did you want to have a quick word?
Well, first of all, if Darren wants to visit, he can take MPC Live and sit in the field opposite me with some cows, if he wants.
Oh, that's gold.
I want to say something that's a bit. I want to put it on his head a bit, and say that as a musician, if you're interested in music and you don't really have formal training like a violinist, and you want to do popular music, up until quite recently, you were put off. There wasn't a degree you could go and do. It wasn't a proper job, So we all were kind of told, if you were into music for a long time, that wasn't really a possibility of a proper job, and that that's being kind of ingrained to you subconsciously by society, by the most of society, except other musicians perhaps. And don't you think that can be a bit of a burden when all you want to do is something that you want to do, but you have to orchestrate another life, perhaps because you weren't supported, or Yep. Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. So, what you're saying is that there was really no social or society-based stigma around having a career as a musician. It was it wasn't like I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a musician. It kind of, I think it probably differs in country to country, but
you didn't tell people that. You didn't tell people that. You tell them, I'm doing this, and you would be doing that. But in your heart and soul and mind, you knew that you really weren't going to end up doing that for long. Years, but there was always another goal.
Yeah.
But you can't tell a lot of people that.
Yeah.
Can you?
I mean, like a lot of musicians that were really successful probably worked at the fish and chip shop, and they had to pay for their gear somehow. They had to start somewhere. A lot of famous actors also were in the same situation where they were waitering or something like that. So yeah, you're right. It had a stigma with it, didn't it? Yeah. So Inky, where do you think the shift has been then recently? Is it because universities are now? What do you think it is?
Yeah. I think since universities have started offering degrees in popular music and art, wider art rather than pure art. I think that then it kind of gives it a credibility. If you're a younger person trying to explain to your parents you're going to do this degree, at least there's a degree to do. Yep. I mean, I was expected to go. I was going to do architecture. I did do architecture for a couple of months, right? But I never wanted to do an architecture degree. I just did it so I could go to Manchester. You know what I mean? But I couldn't tell my parents that. I couldn't say, right, actually, I give up this really well-paid job and just see how it goes as a DJ. They weren't going to buy that, and so you kind of living a lie all the time.
Yeah. Well,
because it's too much hassle to be real.
There was the opposite too, where you'd say, say you were a concert violinist or something, and so you'd never go around saying that you work full-time in a fish and chip shop. You'd go around saying that you're a professional concert violinist, but really I'm just making this up, by the way, but the reality is that how many gigs as a concert violinist would you get on a daily basis would probably be negligible compared to how many regular gigs you get working in the fish and chip shop. It's the stigma around it, the social stigma around it. I think it's kind of sad because when you think about all the effort that we put into our music, I've never ever really sort of felt there was a need to demand or feel that I'm owed anything by society for creating. And I think art in general does suffer from that. But at the same time too, being creative, it gives you there's that sort of creative out that you get. So when you're actually sort of, any artist that you are, but musicians specifically, you're creating something and you're releasing, it's an out. So in that way, that's probably where the healing side of it's probably going. So a couple of guys in the chat have been talking about their situation. So
someone's going to sleep with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, it's good to see that some of them in the chat are sort of putting their situations out there. So that's good to see. And some of them are pretty big, long, comments in there. It won't fit if I put them in this thing here. It won't fit in the little box below. So, but that's okay. We can definitely highlight some sort of slimmer comments and bring those up. So, is there anyone in the chat that wants to raise a question for us? And it might be something about yourself that you're kind of thinking about, or it might be something generic. It doesn't matter. Just it's pretty open here. So we're not going to dwell on anything sort of heavy or anything like that. I said we'll keep it all sort of light and positive. So we'll just wait because the stream is probably about 10 seconds behind. So just be patient for them to catch up. Triple Eight Bergs popped in as well. So big hello to you. Andrew Brooks, I think, just popped in as well. So big hi to you as well. If I've missed anyone, Burkoot, I think, popped in. So that's good to see. Yeah. So anyway, while we're having a little break from the questions, and we'll wait for those to come in, I thought I'd do a little segue, completely irrelevant to what we were just talking about, because you know what I'm like, kind of random. That's why my name's Rand. Anyway, this week I actually got a cable from a company called Retrokits, and here it is here. This is the cable that they gave me. It's just literally a MIDI cable by the looks of it. You can see the whole thing there. It goes out into the Volca. That's just all it is. Now, but inside this orange part here is where all the brains are. And for those who don't know, it's called the RK002. And this particular one has been preloaded with the ARP algorithm. And inside that is a little tiny Arduino, pretty much. And I thought I'd show you guys what it can do. Now you can change what is loaded on here via sending sysx to it, and it will work that way. Anyway, so the ARP works like, that's just a normal keyboard, right? So, but you've got these, I'll show you, it's a little key here. You've got these power keys here that you use on your keyboard. You hold down the hotkey and you press the key above it to turn it on. Now you should have an ARP. How cool is that? Now I know the key step has an ARP on it. You can see that it's on sequencer, so this is all just ARP. So you can muck around with it. So yeah, the really cool thing about this is that you've got quite a lot more controls than just, you know, doing notes. You can change the ARP from the different types of patterns. So you could have, you can actually hold it too. You can go like this. And you can change the pattern. So let's go. Like that. You can change the octave, the you know, the note division. So let's do note division. There you go. That's pretty cool. When you think about it, it's just a MIDI cable that's doing that, and it's powered off the low voltage that comes out of the back of your MIDI port. Now, I know some devices don't actually send voltage out via MIDI, but you know, there's a good forum on the Retrokits website. You can go check it out. Now, I will be doing probably a proper video on this, but I just thought I'd show you guys. Now, who in chat has got one of these? I'll definitely be linking this in. It's just retrokits.com, retrokits.com. Who in chat's got one of these? And if you haven't, maybe you should. These guys, I think, are based in the Netherlands. So they will send you one of these and it'll come preloaded with one of these algorithms. That's even more information about the ARP one there. For those watching, you can pause the video and check all that out. Okay, that's a little good segue for that. Let's have a quick look at our chatties and see what they've said. All right. Hanway said he's got it. Cool. Who else has got one? Analog Stoy is here for the geeky synthy stuff. Well, we definitely are doing geeky synthy stuff now. It's just that we were doing a little bit more of a off-topic topic this week. Yeah, Volca keys is pretty cool, Matthew. I don't have the Volca out that often, but one of our friends that's on the show relatively regularly is a guy called Berg, and he puts the Volca keys in his setup all the time, and you'll see it's quite regular in a lot of the tracks that he makes. Inky, you want to say?
I like the Volca keys because it's one of the best synths to alter lifetime.
Yeah.
So I can get it through like a pedal and really make it sparkle lifetime. It's really good for a little box, you know, live.
It is, yeah. I've actually got.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've actually got mine running through. You can just see off the side here. There's two Boss modulation and delay pedals here. The modulation one's to the left, and the delay one's here. And so I've got that piped in through my mixer. And so, go back to here. I can actually, you know, turn chorus on, and you can hear the delay in the background. So, always makes arpeggiator sound a little bit better when you've got a ping pong delay. Definitely, you know, definitely a cool thing. So that Retrokit cable, there was a whole bunch of other, like I said, other algorithms that you could get for it. Yeah, well, I think maybe I might get up, while we're thinking about it, well, I might get up the web page. You guys can have a quick look at that. But in the meantime, while I'm getting that up, let's just double check to make sure people haven't said anything in the chat. Who's keeping an eye on chat for me?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying
trying to have a look.
I can't do everything.
Triple Eight Berg says, I haven't actually ever produced a track. It's like, yeah, I have days like that.
Where did he say that? I have to follow that one. Oh, okay, yeah. Guys, I've never produced an actual track. Yeah, let's add that one. That's cool.
Yeah, but he says he has now eventually got a techno track.
Come on. Come on, wake up down the bottom. There you go.
Oh, no.
There we go. Definitely, Triple Eight Berg's one of our regulars in the chat, so it's nice to hear him joking about it.
Yeah.
Matthew said something pretty cool before. Matthew B. I'll see if I can find it. There's healing in communicating experience of bad feelings. So it's definitely a good thing to say. So let's see if we can get that one happening. There you go. Michael B. Sorry, I said Matthew B. I meant Michael B. Yeah, I definitely agree. What do you guys think of that comment? There's healing in communicating the experience of bad feelings.
Oh yeah, for sure. That stuff is always expressed through the music that we create, whether it's positive or negative. When I was younger, Kurt Cobain was a huge influence. He was a guy that came through when all we had was bands like Guns N' Roses, and it seemed like music kind of went into Technicolor for me. But there was a lot of hate and anger and screaming in his music, and I can't help feel that all of that contributed to a certain lifestyle, which took him to a certain place, which resulted in his death. And so I often wonder if he'd been meditating on something more positive with every song that he produced, would it have had a different outcome? And we certainly can't change the past, but we can learn from the mistakes of the past and apply them as we move forward. I really think we've got so many kids coming through with ADH type problems where they're hypersensitive children, that they're very sensitive to music, and the music needs to have a calming influence on them. I was approached by a lady the other day I was having a conversation with, and I was explaining I do these guided meditations and it helps with relaxation. She said, well, my son's been at the school threatening to jump off the roof of the school. Do you think there's anything you can do to help him? And I want to get to her, I have the confidence to say, yeah, let's do a recording for him. It's individualized, it's suited to wherever he's at, and he can use that at school. He can put it on his phone, put the headphones in, and if he's being bullied or whatever's going on for him, he can escape from that. We can use music as a mind-altering substance. We can use music to escape reality or step back from reality, reharmonize, rebalance, and then start living again. Or we can use it to really distress ourselves, to be angry, to promote hatred, dirt, filth. We all know that can go into music as well. So I actually think it almost needs to be treated as sacred because of the effect it has on the human nervous system. It has a direct impact on the central nervous system. And an example of that would be in China, I've witnessed personally that they have re-education camps, and one of the most profound things they use in the re-education camps, or I forget the name they have for it, but what they use is sound. They use the spoken word, just repeated at high volume until the person just submits. So music's incredibly profound, and it needs to be treated as such.
Yeah, excellent. Now we've had a couple. Inky, you want to go quickly? Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to chip in and him up here a bit.
Yeah.
I when I found dance music, early house music, it was very different to me, because it's upbeat and it's quite happy. And once I found that, it was kind of almost like a religion. Do you know what I mean? It changed my life more than just music. It's not just music. It's a vibration almost.
Yeah, and there's the club, the club or the village around that. Like that, if you're into a genre, there's the club of people that are also into that kind of you connect with.
Yep. But even before those people were really established, even the music, because I heard it like when I was at kind of a school disco thing.
Yeah.
Early house music, and like nobody else was into it. Well, I was like, what is this? And I just went home and did some research, and you know what I mean?
It was proper underground.
Yeah, and then it became, because it was probably good, like as massive as it has. And I think it's due to that reason. I think it's because it's kind of like your heart, the speed of it is like your heart rate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're already in sync with it. And then and I've got kind of like other weird beliefs around that, but I do think music is incredibly powerful. as energy.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I will quickly go to the chatties because they've been making some awesome comments. So let's start with Johnny said, I was exposed to relaxation tapes in hospital, which was very helpful and de-stressing. Foxy Nirvana is saying, I'm thinking of having to relearn how to be yourself is one of many tools I need. Music is another tool. It can be difficult because, and it goes on to say more than that, music creation and things like that. I'll see if I can find the rest of that comment and we'll go on to that. CB Legacy says, getting positive feedback for efforts made is important when talking about depression music. Now, this one I actually, I was going to actually talk about. So, you guys might notice on my channel, I've been really trying hard to bring in the Jam of the Week section on my live stream each week. And I've been asking, and I mean, I can go out and find them myself. But actually, deep down, the actual reason why I wanted to do the Jam of the Week is because I wanted to give someone, I don't know, like I just feel that, you know, we make things and it's nice to get something back when you like hear what other people say about it. Because sometimes you put music up in other places and people can be a bit nasty, and that doesn't always help, especially if you've got a few mental health issues. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted the Jam of the Week. Now, for those who are new to the channel, Jam of the Week is basically if you post a video on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever, just send the link in to me, and then we can get you in. You don't have to be on the video, you can just be in the chat room, but we can get you in and we can ask you questions about geeky stuff like what gear did you use and how did you come up with these ideas, you know, and it's kind of all positive, and it actually is cool because it gets you talking about something that you've created. So that was the whole real purpose of that, and I think that goes deeper into what CB Legacy was saying before. So that's a really good point. Now let me see if I can scroll back and find that comment from Foxy.
Have you seen?
So Foxy said, I was having to relearn how to be yourself is one of many tools I need. Music is another tool. It can be difficult because music creates so many different moods in me, so it can be hard work. That's a really, really good point. And I think that was what Dazza was saying. It's also kind of what some other people in the chat were saying. I think there's really, I believe there's really no right or wrong mood in music. If you feel that you need to do a dark thing, do a dark thing. I've done dark tracks.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
If you want to listen to a really dark track of mine, I did a track on my Resolution album called The Apology, and it's all about my personal experience with adoption and the adoption fiasco that happened in Australia between the 1950s and 1970s. And I've actually got a sister who I never met, never grew up with, nothing. A full blood sister, same father, same mother as me. Wow. And so that song's quite dark and quite angry, and you know, there's things in that. So when I made that song, it was brilliant for me. It really gave me a way to sort of package all of that and just put it over there into that song, and just it left me. It's almost like Elvis has left the building. It was kind of cool, and I like doing that sort of stuff. So, like I said, there's no right or wrong with what type of mood that you create. So there you go, Foxy. So that one's for you. If that helps, I don't know. You know, you guys want to add anything? I want to go back to Retrokits in a sec because I've got the web page up. So
yeah,
but chat's comments are going in crazy.
A bit like you, Ramsey. My EP, The Life We Live, that is all sort of that sort of mood, sort of music, because I've written it in when you're in that sort of state of mind, and that's how that EP came about. So yeah, things like that. I mean, it all depends on your mood as to what you write, and it doesn't matter what comes out. It's still, I don't know what the words to use for, but it still gives you that sense of feeling, even if it's like you say, if it's a dark or even an up-tempo sort of track, it's still what's within you coming out in your music.
Yeah, it's like a release, isn't it?
Expression is through art.
Yeah.
Like any true artist, really.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Just have a little pause. We'll definitely keep digging into this, guys, but I just think we'll have a little pause. I did promise I'd show you the Retrokits website, and I mentioned before that they, there you go, there's the price of it. So €39.67 plus postage. But when you buy it, you can actually choose what
it runs
algorithm that you can have it pre-installed. Now, these are not all of them. There's also a user submission forum when you can actually download and install the user contributed ones. But this is the one, the Volca FM one was probably the most famous because when the Volca FM first came out, it didn't have the velocity fix, so that fixed that. The Volca sample was also important as well. But if, the arpeggio is the one I chose because you know what I'm like. My arpeggiators. If you've got a Digitact, who's got a Digitact? No one's here's got it. I think Inky's got a Digitone, but not a Digitact. So there's actually some cool stuff that those algorithms do, and you go into the website and check out what it is. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show you. That's how you can get it preloaded, and we'll move right along. They look pretty cool, guys. What do you think of that cable? Not bad for a cable, is it?
No, it's cool. Save up a lot of space. If you just go on keyboard, you need an arpeggiator, and you haven't got an arpeggiator on your keyboard.
Unbelievable how they fit all that technology into a plug. It's basically just in the plug too. The orange side of it. It's just in that. So there you go. Let's have a quick. Who's keeping an eye on chat?
Triple Eightberg there is asking, what's the point of contact outside of this forum? Is it email or YouTube Messenger? So I think Darren wants to know, how does he keep in contact outside of just this live stream? Is there a way that he can talk to us?
There's my. He knows already. He's already talked to me.
Okay. So there's Facebook and obviously Rans has a website.
There's my website, which is ramsey.com. But if you want some sort of forum, there's Facebook groups that we
don't all have Facebook though, do we?
No,
we
don't all
have Facebook.
We don't all have NPC lives either. So
you can email Darren.
It's the people that don't have NPC lives that don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't have NPC live. That's not true.
I was talking about non-Australians.
Okay. So you're being racist against English people.
Yeah.
It's not in the field.
I do have a Discord channel. Discord channel. Yeah.
I was going to mention that.
So it's pretty. It's pretty quiet in there, though. I think the only person that's gone in there recently was my daughter, wondering where I was. Let me see if I can. Okay, so I've got Discord open anyway, but basically my Discord channel, I'll actually have to give you guys a link to it, and the only way to do that is I can't really do that on YouTube. So what I'll do is I'll put a post up on my Facebook group and also on my YouTube comment community section, and I'll put a link in to Discord, and you guys can all jump in there. And I mean, that'll just run 24/7. There's a few people in there already.
There's also Instagram and Twitter, but I don't even bother with them.
Yeah, I don't really like Twitter. I just post stuff on there, and it just scrolls, and nothing just it's kind of annoying. There's also Reddit as well, so there's lots of places. Anyway, that's digressing.
Good.
Cool. Do you feel like have we kind of helped anyone? Has the topic been helpful? Like to just sort of talk about it, just to say, hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like if you're feeling a bit wobbly,
I think the fact that we can talk. I think the fact that we can talk about it is a good change from what used to be. And I think the young generation growing up is really open about this type of stuff now. It's being taught in schools that you've got to take good care of your thinking processes and your emotions. There wasn't so much of that 20 or 30 years ago when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And it was harder to identify people at risk, and there was a lot more stigma.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I can add to that. So the reason me and my daughter's father really split up was because he was bipolar and he didn't tell me, and his mother died, and he went crazy and I didn't know what had happened. And that's basically because it wasn't discussed enough within the family. The whole family knew. They could see him going down this path. They didn't even talk to him at the time, and yet his mother had got it, and she'd been affected for years. She'd been in and out of hospitals. So even though they could see it playing out in front of their face, they didn't talk about it, and it could have all been prevented by a bit of conversation and a bit of openness. And to this day, we are the best of friends. With I love him to bits, but that kind of ruined that relationship because of one conversation, a hard conversation, but being able to discuss it.
Yeah. Michael B. He's got a different aspect to sort of to bring up. I think this is a good one. Speaking of getting healthy, he dumped Facebook. Good on you, mate. I think that's great. Like, I've definitely have got friends who have done the same thing, and they reckon it's one of the best things they ever did. They actually have all of a sudden realised that there was just so many hours of their day being wasted scrolling and commenting and being an idiot on Facebook, when they had so many other better things to do. Like Darren said, go out and we joke about Darren who doesn't have Facebook, but he's actually probably better off because he can go out in nature and do things like that. So that's pretty cool. I like that one. Now I wanted to what did I want to do? Oh, that's right. This is the cool part of this subject. So I think one of the cool things that I believe helps me anyway, I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but one of the things I love about the synth stuff is I love to geek out and I love to get nerdy and I love to have gear. There's definitely a thing for me when I buy something new that really just brings me up. It just really makes me in the actual process of buying, getting excited before I buy, all of that, the research that I do, when I get the thing in, touching it for the first time, smelling it when you sort of pull it out of the box, all that sort of stuff. It's all tactile. That's why I love hardware. Like I remember someone talking today on Facebook, sorry Michael, and they were saying, I don't use any hardware. Like, explain to me what the attraction with hardware is. And we kind of had this massive, big, long thread of discussion. And I said, look, one of the things is the tactile. It's not the only thing, but I just mentioned one of the things is the tactile part of it. Like when you're using a computer and you get new software, it's kind of exciting. It's nice to have new software and try the features out and stuff like that. But when you get something hardware, you're kind of touching it. There's an instant sort of reaction. There's an instant sort of feedback that you're getting from that. There's a smell to it when you pull it out of the box. There's all these, senses that are being stimulated from it. And for me, I actually really, really feel, I'm not being an advocate of go and max out your credit card and just get all your gear. I'm not saying that, but I think that I feel that I believe in rewarding yourself. Like one of the things was mentioned before about we may not have success in releasing hit #1 songs and all this sort of stuff. Well, so what? Like reward yourself for the hard work that you've put into your life or your business or your music or whatever it is that you work hard for, and reward yourself for something that you love. Like it might be a little thing like a Korg Volca, or it might be a big thing like a Moog 1 or a Korg ARP Odyssey or a Korg ARP 2600, whatever, right? It doesn't matter what it is. And the point I'm trying to make is that I personally, I have a little bit of, sort of a buzz from that side of it. It's not just making music and getting the tunes out. For me, it's that side of it as well. and I'm a bit of a nerd. You guys know that, geeky. I love to connect stuff up and try things out different. That's one of the reasons why, like, unlike Darren and Inky and Daz, I don't have all my gear out all the time. I actually put it away, and then I put something else out and I connect it up in different ways. And that's kind of, it's a bit like an artist trying new paint, mixing different colors. That's kind of how I do things. And when I put things away, they get turned off, they get stored away, and they're not going to be out to distract me. So it keeps me focused. That's kind of just the way I work. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But yeah, so you'll notice that this setup here in the last 3 jam videos that I did has changed. Not everything changed in it. Like, there's a couple of things that stay the same, like the MPC pretty much stays there. But some of it, like the Octatract appeared and it wasn't there before. These Waldorf machines, came in and came out. So for me, it's just keeping something new and buzzy. That's kind of my thing, and that's what keeps me, happy, I guess. So that's, if that helps anyone, I don't know. I'm just kind of spinning crap. I don't know.